Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Shadowrun Hong Kong. And there is some bad mojo going on here in this underwater lab. Heavily augmented sleeper agent assassins, tons of experimentation, and a tram. Let's see where this tram takes us. Probably to a harder part of the facility. We got dragon lines right here, so that's always a sign that things are about to get hectic. Well, we got something over here. We've got a weapons locker access, which I believe we have the code for. Let's see here. Things, useful things, please. There we go. 4077. So what do we have in here? Probably grenades and such. Ares Voltaic Grenade. Nice. We will take that. Oh, we are down with stuff. Let's go ahead and... As much as I hate doing this, we are going to go ahead and send that. There we go. Premium med kit. Can we put that in the stash? Yeah. Because Duncan with grenades is just good business. Nemesis Arms Gyrojet Pistol. A pistol that fires 14mm rocket rounds, inaccurate at close range. Ooh. Alright, who's our pistol? Our pistolier? That would be... Well, for right now... Let's put this on Duncan. Because I can't unlock any of ISO's stuff, unfortunately. I don't think we can. No, those are locked in place. So Duncan has that for a rainy day. Guess we'll try that out the next time we get into some sort of firefight, which should be relatively soon. Oop! Row upon row of man-sized pods line the walls of this room. Each pod contains a single occupant, men and women, bound by restraints, all of them apparently asleep. The people in the pod seem almost peaceful in their slumber. They occasionally twitch and sway, but otherwise they remain motionless. Examine the nearest pod. You lean in to get a closer look. The sleeper inside has the weathered, craggy features that you've come to associate with street-level living, but he's wearing a surprising amount of chrome for a homeless man. Ugly welts and bruises mottle his skin, and a handful of flesh wounds paint his torso. The incisions on his torso are surprisingly neat and clean. A recent surgery, perhaps. On closer inspection, you see a slim braided cable that stretches from the wall to the sleeping man's data jack. The other end of that cable has been hooked to a nondescript Shiawase device that has been integrated into the pod. Glancing down the lines of pods, you see that all the sleepers are connected to their pods in a similar fashion. There is a peculiar energy in this room. I feel many presences, but all of them are relaxed, as if in deep slumber. ISO points at the device that one of the sleepers is jacked into. Shan, take a look at that. My guess is that they've all been in a deep dream state via matrix induction, living false lives to keep them docile. They probably have a Bunraku-style lockout once they're brought out of it. In short, they're human robots. All of them. If only there was some way to get them out of here. This is straight out of the Matrix, though with a much more sinister kind of ending. Something clanks nearby. The sound reverberates in the still air, stretching and lengthening into a persistent hum. It sounds a bit like the ambient hum of an air circulation system, but as you listen, it grows louder. It gradually dawns on you that the noise isn't coming from the walls, but from the pods that protrude from them. There is something disconcerting about that sound. His hand drops to the hilt of his katana. I cannot place it, but... There's another loud clank, and you catch a hint of motion in the pod nearest to you. The pod's occupant, a battered troll, riddled with chrome, shifts uneasily against his restraints. As you watch, those restraints disconnect. The troll's eyes slide open, and his face twists into a hateful snarl. They got him brainwashed or something. Look into his eyes, Shan. There's nothing going on in there. A monitor near you... I figured that was what was going to happen. A monitor near you flickers to life. A nervous-looking Dr. Tang addresses you, his eyes darting frantically around the room. I can't allow you to enter my lab. There are millions of new yin in research here, and I can't let you threaten it. If you try to get any closer, I'm going to have to stop you. Don't make this more difficult than it has to be. I'm coming to your lab, whether you want me to or not. I can't let you do that. I can't. She looks to the right, just off screen, and makes a slicing gesture with her right hand. She hisses to somebody off camera. I gave you the signal. Open the pods, damn it. Wake the damn things. The troll peers at you through red, vacant eyes. The door of his pod slides open, and like a chain reaction, several other pods follow suit. There's an explosion of motion from the pods, and the subjects contained within charge you like a pack of rabid beasts. Well, okay, we have a physical adept right here. I see the casting beyond the cells. This is really bad for Duncan and ISO. Those are some nice basketball. Oh, you're wearing socks with sandals. True evil. And ooh, this is going to be tricky. I could go ahead and fight the troll, but Shan has some of the best multi-person attacks, multi-target attacks. Well, here we might as well have some troll-on-troll fighting here. And I'm going to go ahead and try and put you back to sleep. There we are. Okay, ISO, I want you to retreat back this way. And put two... Wow, these guys are really powerful. Coup de grace, rushing stream, frenzy. Do you have any... No positive or negative effects? Yeah, let's go ahead and get our active defense up, and we will just slice and dice here. Stance water 3. Duncan, where are we going to put you? Let's put you over here, because I know they probably don't have grenades, but we need to be prepared for that single shot, which means Duncan doesn't have much in terms of pistoling abilities. Reflex trigger, dodge next attack. So we go ahead and shoot that one. Now it's okay. If Gaichu can take a little damage, I'm not concerned about that really. It's the troll in socks and sandals that I'm truly afraid of. Provided we can actually hit him. There we go. And let's keep him CC'd. And we got this... Ah, we were too close. Well, kind of, really. Let's keep doing what we're doing here. At least get one of these guys dealt with. Now, let's use some of Gaichu's other abilities. We've got the acid spit. Yeah, point blank acid spit. And dodged. She had that ability already saved up for a rainy day. Let's go. This is probably good range for Duncan. There you go. That's the gun show that I want to see. Now, we're probably going to have more of these guys come out of the pods here before too much longer, I would assume. That's how our luck runs. Time for a lightning strike. That's another fighter down. 3. We don't have any break armor. Let's go for Celestial Mana Fist here. And I think she's dodge next attack. Alright. Oh, didn't dodge that one there, did you? You turn to see Dr. Tang watching the scene from the telecom. Her face visibly pales as the final test subject falls to the floor. She splutters, barely able to form a coherent sentence. I can't... All of them? She stares bug-eyed into the camera, her pupils flitting back and forth as she takes in the carnage of the screen. But they were supposed to be killing machines. Their cyberware was top of the line. You're going to have to do better than that. All that time, all that research, gone. Tang stares vacantly at the screen, as if still processing the situation. She looks exhausted, terrified. Her skin shines with sweat. They hardly even slowed you down. She pulls herself back with a shake of her head. Her voice is weak. Look, you don't know what you're doing, how dangerous this is. Your even being here is a huge breach of every lab safety protocol on the books. But you can still turn back. The death of those test subjects is on you, not me. But if you do what I say, there doesn't have to be any more bloodshed. Duncan nods. You heard the man. We're in this up to our armpits already, and we've got no intention of turning back now. All that you're doing right now is pissing me off. Look, you just don't get it. I work in a BSL-4 hot lab. That means I'm surrounded by lethal, highly infectious pathogens. Her voice comes out in a tight rasp. Literally anything that you find in here could kill you. Horribly. Hell, half the stuff in here could cause a global pandemic if it were to escape quarantine. This is more important than your damn job. She takes a deep breath and releases it into the mic. Look, I don't expect you to listen to me, but I'm going to say it one last time. It would be in everyone's best interest if you would turn back, especially yours. She cuts the transmission and her face winks out across the various trid screens in the room. Well, that is an interesting turn of events. How's everyone's health? I know Gaichu took a little bit of chin music during that. Probably not enough to really be that big of a deal. Yeah, I'm not even going to worry about it. We got plenty of med packs. So, it wants us to go this way, so by that rationale, we'll go this way. Into a locked door, unfortunately. Hopefully we can come back to that. Because I know there's a medical closet that we haven't found yet that should be filled with medicinal goodies. And there didn't look to be anyone there we could talk to. And another tram. This kind of reminds me of an aquatic version of Black Mesa. Nice couches. And a new terminal. Alrighty. The door is sealed tight. An access panel beside it flashes red with a message. Laboratory Gamma 4 quarantined. Security lockdown engaged. Access level Omega 4 required for entry. Locked. Shouldn't be a problem, though. Try the keycard that you picked up, Shan. If I remember correctly, it should have the appropriate credentials. You lift the keycard to the slot, but before you can slide it in, the figure of a frightened woman erupts onto the scanner screen. Dr. Janet Tang. I told you before, you can't come in here! Her breaths come in tight, panic gasps. She's doing her best to stay calm, but she's clearly terrified. I don't like repeating myself, so listen. Please. This lab is restricted for a reason. Besides the obvious fact that it's full of deadly contagions, it also contains highly sensitive and very expensive equipment that only trained scientists can handle. You barge in here and mishandle a single vial, you will in all likelihood infect yourself with whatever's inside. That would be a disaster. And I mean that quite literally. Guess you'd better give me some incentive not to mishandle any vials, then. Beads of sweat trace their way down her forehead. Are you joking, or are you just crazy? A little bit of column A, column B. How many times do I have to tell you what'll happen if you come in here and make a mistake? Gaichu sneers. If this researcher is truly worried, she is sure to have already sealed the truly dangerous pathogens away. In labs such as these, samples can be rapidly shuttled away to secure refrigeration units via remotely controlled drones. I should know. I guarded one once upon a time. I didn't come this far just to turn back now. In we go. And the game saved. That's a bad sign. So there's the doctor. Some badness is probably going to happen. I bet she's like all bioweaponed up, I would assume. Knock, knock. Just the doctor's office. I didn't see an entrance into that medical closet. Or did we already grab it? I don't remember. But it's okay. Hello, nurse. Or doctor, rather. Dr. Janet Tang stands firm. She's unnaturally composed given the situation. She stands with her shoulders rigid and her arms crossed. Her two associates shuffle awkwardly behind her, their hands shaking. They look terrified. I told you not to come in. You shouldn't be in here. She's making a visible effort to keep her cool, but the tremor in her voice gives her away. Listen to me. You've made a horrible mistake. One wrong move and you'll release God knows what into the room. If you work with me instead of against me, we can all leave in one piece. She raises her hands in a calming gesture. I understand, and we're willing to cooperate with you to move things along faster. We all want to get out of here alive. So, this is me cooperating. You tell me what you want, and I'll give it to you. No more arguments. Well, let's go ahead and take care of the job right now. Tell me about the super disease that you're cooking up in here. It has a cure, right? The doctor blinks at you. Her voice goes cold. You're talking about pathogen GT0009. SARS-3. That's the one. Tell me about it. I can. I'm sorry. But all information on SARS-3 is classified, and for good reason. It's one of the worst things we've ever produced in this lab. We can't let you... Her eyes fly open. You're not here to take GT0009, are you? Please tell me that isn't what you're here to do. Remember what we agreed on. Your help and no one gets hurt. Don't go back on your word now. She glances at her associates, both cowering behind her and shaking violently. You can hear one of them murmuring something in a language unknown to you. From the cadence of their words, you guess that it's a prayer. She exhales slowly through her rebreather. All right, I'll tell you everything I know. SARS-3 is a Category 4 lethal pathogen. It's 99.98% fatal, excruciatingly painful, and it kills within a matter of weeks. As of right now, the only cure is a prototype antibody treatment. We're still working on fine-tuning it. In case you haven't been paying attention, I'm going to say this one more time. SARS-3 is terrible. It's easily the cruelest, most infectious, and most lethal thing ever to have come out of this lab. It cannot be allowed to go into the wild. I want to know more about how SARS-3 kills. The disease works by replicating the identifying features of white blood cells. It tricks the immune system into ignoring it and then self-replicates at an exponential rate. During this early phase, while it's colonizing the body, the patient doesn't experience any overt symptoms, just a mild temperature and an elevated white cell count. That's it. She pauses. Are you sure that you want me to go on? It's pretty gruesome. Keep it coming. Alright. Okay, here we go. Once the virus has thoroughly colonized the host, it begins a devastating attack on the body. It rapidly infects epithelial cells, inserting its own RNA at such a tremendous rate that the cell membranes rupture, spewing cytoplasm and virions into surrounding cells. I apologize if I'm getting any of this pronunciation wrong. By the time the attack has begun, the damage dealt is almost immediately irreversible. So what's that got to do with messing up your lungs? The virus induces a hypersensitivity reaction in its host. Lungs fill with mucus and sputum, leading to hypoxia. Victims drown in their own fluids. We spent a long time developing it. The secret was hybridizing the standard SARS coronavirus and the third strain of virally induced toxic allergy syndrome, METAS-3. That's why standard treatments won't work. That's damn horrible. Yeah, well, Don't want to be an I told you so, but... She shrugs. It's a bioweapon. They don't have much deterrent value if they aren't horrible. She sighs, her eyelids heavy. Anyway, there you have it. SARS-3. My baby. I'm not exactly proud of having made it. Tell me about the cure. How do we fix somebody who's already been exposed? We developed a strain of monoclonal antibodies in tandem with the disease. It isn't perfect, but it works. That's the only cure. I was attacked by some test subjects of yours on my way here. Seems like you're experimenting with more than just pathogens. Tang's eyes scanned the ground at her feet. I suppose there's no withholding information at this point, is there? Nope. You can see the doctor's cheeks pull downward as she frowns beneath her mask. She nods her head somberly. The two researchers behind the doctor mimic her gesture, their heads bobbing up and down like a couple of pigeons. They're part of a study called Project Silver Dream. Each subject has one of our prototype BTL chips implanted inside them. The project aims to create a perfect switch for sleeper agents and spies, one that can remain undetected by current scanning and identification technology. As of right now, the project is still in early testing. Our subjects are more often used as test beds for new cyberware, while the Silver Dream BTL chip is being refined since all of our field experiments have only achieved partial successes. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to manage complete control over the subjects. Your run-in with them wasn't an accident, as I'm sure you know by now. It was a hasty decision on my end. You think? You already know why I did it. There were only the things standing between you and my lab, and I was trying to avoid a containment breach. I stand by that decision for what it's worth. Is there any way to disconnect them? The program runs on a delicate framework. Casual tinkering with the system could be dangerous, not just for our machines, but for the subjects as well. There's a specific order in which they must be released, by first disconnecting the matrix interlocks, followed by a supervised override of the SimSense feeds. One wrong move and it could fry the user. If I were to try to recontain the subjects right now without help and proper permissions, I'd probably flub it. That would then trigger the station's matrix defenses, which would only make a bad situation worse. Oh, that's mean. And what about this facility? Can it really keep your project safely inside? I want details. Well, nothing's ever completely foolproof, but any project as sensitive as ours requires a lot of very careful controls and strict adherence to procedure. Shiawase is very strict about safety, for obvious reasons. She begins ticking off items on her fingers. Reducing the number of potential exposures is one way to be prepared for an outbreak scenario. We run on a skeleton crew, maybe 200 workers at most. As you can imagine, living down here for long periods can be difficult, and people rarely acclimate enough to last more than a couple of months. To prevent our projects from suffering, Shiawase cycles its employees out every 14 weeks. There's no break days while working the underwater cycle, but we're greatly compensated during our off months. Still, people find a way to get bored, so we try not to keep anyone on staff that we don't need. Most of our security and menial labor is handled by drones. We still have a few flesh and blood security personnel. I think that Commander Gara has been down here longer than anyone, but mostly it's all drones for the blue-collar work. The doctor gives you a sideways look. This can't be why you broke into my lab. I guess I understand how you might be curious about an underwater laboratory, but I don't know all that much, really. Only what I've told you. Could any of the Silver Dream test subjects have been infected with SARS-3? No. No way. There isn't a researcher on this station who would do such a thing. She stops as if stricken by a thought. Wait. Dr. Guy came to me a couple of months ago asking for a SARS-3 sample. I didn't think it was unusual at the time. All of us in Gamma 4 need the occasional sample for further studies, but... But what? As far as I know, I never received his report on that sample. The sample itself was never returned either. The way that our system works, it's impossible to take or return samples without our computers logging the transaction, which means he either still has it or he used it somehow. The last of the color drains from Tang's face. His numbers were slipping too. We were contacted by the board not long before he requested that sample, but I can't imagine he'd be desperate enough to use it in such a risky and uncontrolled environment, and on such valuable subjects. but I have to concede that it's a possibility. I've heard enough. Now there's just the matter of what to do with you and your team. She raises her arms, palms towards you. She's sweating. Wait, just wait. Before you do anything, please listen. We aren't bad people. We're scientists who were assigned a dreadful task, and we did what they had to do to keep their jobs. That kind of thing happens to everybody. I bet it's even happened to you. Please, don't hold our professionalism against us. Let us go, and maybe we can do some good out there for a different corporation. Don't kill us. Now, this is actually an interesting question for me here. But Shan, from what I know of Shan, he doesn't kill unless he has to. I don't think we've killed anyone in cold blood during this entire series, and I don't think we're going to start now, unfortunately. I'm not like you, Doc. I don't kill unless I have to, and I don't make excuses for myself when I do. Now take your men and get out of here. Janet's head jolts up in surprise. Her associates look at each other, as if they are expecting you to change your mind, or maybe convinced your words are a trick. Janet takes a step forward. Her voice stutters. I don't know what to say. I didn't think you'd... Thank you for sparing us. I won't forget this. I don't have to like it, though. Oi. Duncan grunts as Tang and her researchers pass through the door. Not much we could have gotten from them anyway. Let's get out of here. With the sterilization countdown, the Silver Dream thugs on our heels, and the disease that might be loose around here, we better start hauling ass back to the sub-bay. Let's not forget what we were contracted to do. The cure our client requested should be somewhere within this laboratory. A flashing light of a nearby console catches your eye. With a static click, a handful of monitors mounting around the lab display, an unfamiliar face. Attention all staff, this is Commander Gara. I've ordered a Code Red security lockdown due to a facility infiltration. All personnel should cease working and report to the safe rooms in Sector 9 immediately. The intrusion has compromised our operation, which has triggered a sterilization sweep. In 30 minutes' time, a squad of drones will deoxinize the premise to prevent the escape of any loose pathogens. If you haven't reported to Sector 9 by that time, you will not survive the sweep. A siren blares over the intercoms as the lab's monitors replace Commander Gara's hard features with a countdown timer. Moments later, a computer-generated voice activates. Matrix system wipe initiated. Sterilization system on standby. All personnel report to Sector 9. I suppose we have no choice but to leave, and quickly. Their sector commanders will no doubt have localized overrides for the trams. We need to eliminate them to escape. He shakes his head. Unfortunate. I was hoping to indulge in some of our necessary disposals before we left. Let's not linger. Before we leave, we should consider the test subjects. They didn't choose this fate. Shiawase made that decision for them. Should we lock them up or set them free? Your call, Shan. If we are to do anything about them at all, we will have to do something about it before the lockdown counter is finished. Once that happens, we will lose access to the Matrix and every computer in this lab. Oh, rounds until system shut down. Good times. And with fighting to do. Well. It's a decent-sized force. It's only 4. 5. 5? Maybe? Okay. Think we're good to go. Alright, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here, and when we get back, we will decide what exactly we are going to do and how we're going to do it. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, go ahead and click like down below, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help, and we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.